Yo, what's up, YouTube? What's going on, guys? Alright, today I am going to show you guys what I do with my cocoa after I run it. This is the plant that I just pulled, the Casper OG. And as you can see, this is the root ball on it. This is a good portion of the root ball. There's still some on that I got into the soil, into the cocoa mixture that I'm pulling out on the side, as you can see. But this is what I do with my cocoa and my soil. I'll go through, and this was about a quarter way full of fresh cocoa, and I'll dump out my cocoa. I'll break up my root ball, or what I'll do is when I do my final flush, I'll flush up my pot, and as I do, I'll stick my hand in there and I'll break up the soil, the cocoa with the roots. Not really break them up, just stick my fingers through and break up the cocoa on the first 4 or 3 inches of the pot before I pull my plant or for harvest. And what that does is it breaks up all the topsoil of the cocoa into virtually clean cocoa. And it should be flushed thoroughly before you do this. So if you're planning on reusing this cocoa, I've had plenty of success doing this. I've been doing it for a while now. And like I said, all I do is I flush my plants. I check it with the ppm meter, what the runoff is, and usually I get it right into my right around the 150 to 250 range, and that's just with my tap water. And I flush the hell out of it. And then from there, guys, if you want to go further, you can flush it with RO water if you really want to. If you have a reverse osmosis system, that's great. I don't have one, so this is how I do it. And I said I've had plenty of success with this. I've never had issues, not yet. I know I do regenerate this though. Like I said, it was a quarter way filled with cocoa, and I'll probably still add some more cocoa after this. This was a 5-gallon pot that I used, and this is, like I say, there's still some roots in here that I will go through and pull out. I use a rake, and I rake out most of the big chunks, and I go through. But the first top part of the soil that you actually broke up, it should actually be clean, and there should be nothing in it. Period. Zero. It should be really clean cocoa. The only time you get the roots is through the bottom once you start breaking up the root ball itself. And as you can see here, I left there's still cocoa in this root ball. I just didn't shake it out because I really didn't want to contaminate this more than it already is. And it's pretty clean, I think, to me. It's not bad. There's still some roots in there, little ones. And I will still rake through it a little bit more. Yeah, this is how I do it, guys. This is what I use. I use some mycos, and there's different types of this mycos you can add to your soil. I just use, or you can even use recharge, and add it to your soil or your cocoa. I always add it to my transplants anyways, so I add just a couple scoopfuls or 3 or 4 scoopfuls, whatever I feel is necessary to throw in here. But I do throw some in here as I mix up my cocoa with my old cocoa. And I reuse it, man. You can definitely reuse your cocoa just like you can reuse your hydroponic rocks. So rather than throw your cocoa away, guys, and pollute the earth, I guess, more, try to reuse your stuff, because you can definitely reuse it without having any issues in your harvest or yield. To be honest, guys, I've never had any issues. The only thing is you want to make sure you want to flush your cocoa. When you're doing your flush, make sure you flush it. And even if you don't flush it, if you don't think you got a good flush on it, take it back after you chop your plant down and just run your pot. Flush that fucker, let the water run on it, a hose, whatever you gotta do, just flush that. So cocoa will usually it'll flush out. The only thing it really holds on to is calcium, magnesium, but other than that, it will flush out. It just takes a little bit of time. But like I said, I've had plenty. I've been doing this for a while, and I haven't had any big issues. I did have no, I haven't had any issues, to be honest. Not yet. Nothing major. I've tried it in everything from seedlings to clones, and I've had success, guys. But I always mix. When I go with my seedlings clones, I usually do like a heavier ratio of my clean cocoa and to my used cocoa. You know what I mean? So this is more of mid veg, I guess, transplant soil here. So you can use it. Once you get to using it, you guys, you'll know how it works for you. But this is just what I do with it. This is just my experience and what I use. And like I say, I do add extra cocoa to my stuff, and I do the same thing with my soil too, guys. It's kind of dirty right now. I got a bunch of shit thrown everywhere, but that's what I do, guys. It's really easy. It saves me money from having to go to the grow shop, buy more cocoa soil versus, you know what I mean. So just keep your minds open, guys. You might find it easier to do this for you, or it may not work for you. I don't know. This is just my experience, like I said. Hopefully this video helps you guys out, man, and you can add a lot of other things other than the mycos to it. This is just what I do, and I've had success with it, like I said. So hopefully this will help you guys out in the future to make better, or save you money, really, and try to save our planet, I guess, in the process. But anyways, so hopefully this helps you guys. Have a good day. Do a fat dab.